Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a tutorial for you guys. Now this tutorial I had found not too long ago, and it's been consistently helping me get better at doing backgrounds. It's just a simple and easy tutorial, but hopefully you guys can get as much from it as I have. Okay, so I'm going to just jump into it and we're going to get started. Okay, so what you start off with is you come over here to your gradient tool, you pick your gradient, and sorry if I'm moving a little fast, I want this to be a pretty short video. Okay, so you get your gradient tool ready and you're going to keep the black foreground color, okay, and you're going to come over to the background, and you're going to pick a dark color. So let's just go with the orange for now. Okay, boom, we got the orange, and you're just going to hold shift and you're just going to draw a straight line up to 3/4 or however you want. Okay, now it could come from either direction, it doesn't matter, from the top or from the bottom. I kind of prefer the bottom, so let's roll with that. Okay, now after you do that, you're going to create a new layer. Come down here to the sticky note looking button and you're going to click that. Boom, new layer. Now you're going to come over to the brush tool and you're going to shrink it down to a reasonable size, something that's relatively sized to the canvas that you made. And after you picked your brush, you're going to reset the colors and change it to white. White is it's going to be a good catalyst for your glowing effects later on. Let's just keep it moving. Get your brush, and we're just going to start drawing lines. It doesn't matter if they're straight, crooked, whatever. Small, short, tall, all is welcome. The temple of crank, okay? Okay, so let's keep it moving. Alright, now after you made probably about 7 or 8 of these things, I'm going to show you a little shortcut that's going to save you a little bit of time. Okay? Now, you're going to come over here to the Move tool and make sure layer 1 is selected, the one that you're drawing your lines on. And you're going to come into the bounding area and you're going to hold Alt. And you're just going to click, left click, or if you have a tablet, just drop the pen nib on it. And you're just going to drag down, and that's going to duplicate whatever you have selected in there. Now this is useful for a lot of things if you're correcting drawings, paintings and stuff like that. You start to learn how to use that a little more. So I'm going to turn off the background and I'm going to come over to one of these layers because as you can see, after duplicating them they create a lot of layers that is just cluttering up the area. Okay, so come over here, right click, and you're going to merge visible. Turn back on your background and we're going to come over here to the eraser tool. Now make sure you have a soft brush selected and a pretty good size tip selected, okay? And you're just going to clear the edges so it looks softer on the edge, okay? You're going to clear the edges off, get all those hard edges off, okay? You're going to come over here and you're going to do the same thing on each side. Bada bing, bada boom. Oops. Okay. Now bada bing when I should have bada boom. Okay. Alright, so now here comes the fun part. You're going to come up here to the edit menu and come down to the transform section. Okay, and in this section you're going to have a lot of options, but today what we're going to use the warp setting. Boom, like warp drive, like in Star Trek. Okay? And you could grab these anchors and you could shape them and you could bend them just like this. Okay, let me move this menu. So we're just gonna create a nice flowing design, something with a lot of movement in it. This is the construction phase of the drawing. So whatever you come up with, is gonna be great regardless. Okay, I actually like that. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And we're just gonna click the check mark, and it's gonna create that for us. It actually kind of looks like a little fish. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, anyways. So, after you get your shape, I don't suggest resizing this at all because it's raster graphics and you're just going to pixelize it, and it's gonna look awful in the end. Okay, so if you mess up, just redo the whole warp phase, and you'll be fine after that. All right. So next, you're gonna come over here to the layer, and you're gonna double click on it, not on the name because you'll change the name. So double click to the right of it. Okay, and you're gonna use two options in the layer styles. You're gonna use outer glow, and you're gonna use color overlay. I mean, sorry, gradient overlay. I apologize. Okay. Now pick your gradient. What I'm going to run with is a orange to gold gradient today. And we're just going to come in here, double click on it, and you're going to soften up the color so it's a little more pleasing on the eyes. Okay, just a little bit, soften it up. Okay. So after you get your color set up and everything's looking good to you, you're going to come over here to the outer glow. Okay, and I'm going to turn down the opacity just a little bit. And I'm going to turn up the size, and the size is going to make the most difference, as you're going to see as I drag it. Okay, we're going to stop there. 38 is fine. And later on, we're going to get into the range when we use the brush to paint. You're going to see the difference of some of these options. Okay, so after you finish up with that, you click OK, and you have a nice little glowing fishy. Okay. Alright, so once you get past that, the next step is creating another layer. You're going to use this layer to create your brush. Now if you don't have your brush over here on the right, you go into the window tab, and there's going to be a brush option in there that you can click, and it'll bring up the brush settings. Okay, so we go back over to the brush tool, and we're going to click on a hard round brush. It doesn't matter what size because we're going to change that. And you're going to click on the shape, and you're just going to space it out a little bit. All these options are subject to change. It's up to you. Okay, so we're going to use scattering, we're going to use transfer, and keep smoothing on. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Alright, so you're gonna come over here, and you're gonna go along the edges of it. So just it looks like it's moving. Just give a flowing move to it, And maybe mine doesn't look so good, but just work with a little bit. This is a short tutorial. Okay, and just stroke it. Okay, just stroke it and make it look like it's it's got some movement to it, like that. Okay. So after you've done the small ones, you're gonna create another layer, and we are going to up the ante. We're gonna raise the stakes. Okay. So after you make those, we're gonna come into the biggest brush that we're gonna use, about 500. It doesn't matter. Just fill in a couple. Just here and there. Okay. Now we're working with some, and we're cooking with gas. Okay. Now next step, put some glow onto these brushes. Alright, you can use the outer glow again. And let's go with the cyan this time. Okay, feeling the cyan. Boom. And up the size. See, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, now here's where the magic really comes in. You're going to adjust the range right here. Okay, and the range is going to make it glow like it's a particle. Look at that. Look at that. That looks amazing. Okay. Alright, and you're just going to copy that layer style. And you're going to go ahead and paste it on in there. Paste that layer style. Look at that. Okay, now we're starting to look, we're looking pretty good. Now, you could take your eraser tool and you can just sort of turn the flow down. You're just going to erase some of the hardness out of it. Okay? So it looks like it's fading into the distance. Okay, looking pretty magical now. Alright, so, yeah, I don't like this one. Get out of here, buddy. Alright. So you know, that it's not uh, all that hard to accomplish this, but you know, it comes out to be a pretty interesting effect. You know, and if you spend a little bit of time with this, you'll come out with some pretty nice stuff. So the last thing I'm going to show you guys is you just come over here, just so it has a framed look. You're going to crop it out a bit. Just, you know, that's fine. Just crop it. See? Now you have a framed looking particle goldfish plasma creature. Alright, so, you know, that's it for my tutorial. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. I'm going to be posting a link of where I learned this at, so maybe you guys can check out some of his stuff. And, you know, he has a couple more tutorials that are, you know, very good as well. But thank you for coming to look at my video, and keep drawing, guys. See you next week.